Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's aftermath time. It's just finished. Chelsea 3, West Ham United 0 at Stamford Bridge. And I have to say that I'm not angry with how West Ham played, because West Ham played really well in that second half, but I'm very annoyed at the amount of missed chances. I sound like a broken record when I say this, because this was the exact case against Arsenal and Manchester United earlier this season. It's another case where West Ham do not take the chances when they're on top, and it comes back to bite them in the butt later on. Happened here in that second half very late on. Chelsea got 3 goals, and VAR played a bit of a role in some of these. I'm going to get onto that in a little bit. Before the game kicked off, and even an hour before the team lineups came out, there was rumours going around on Twitter that Noble was going to start this game. I then found out that he was starting ahead of Said Benrahma. I did not know why that was happening. I have a lot of respect for Mark Noble. I love the guy. I love Mark Noble as a captain, as a player. One of the biggest legends the club's had in the Premier League era, but he should not have started this game because he slows us down. It was a bit negative him starting as well, because when we started him against Newcastle and started him against Everton in the League Cup, we lost those games because he doesn't provide pace, he doesn't provide attack. And it really showed in the first half, and I'll talk about that in just a second. The other thing that I noticed with Chelsea's lineup was that Havertz was benched because he's not been playing very well, and they had that link up with Tammy Abraham, Christian Pulisic and Timo Werner. Werner, I don't think he's very good either, but enough about Chelsea. Let's get on to this first half and talk about the early events. West Ham did take the lead very early on from a lovely through ball which found Declan Rice. Kind of went around Mendy and fired it in to the far side of the net, but then it was given offside. And looking back at the replays, it's like his armpit's offside. And even closer, if you look at it even closer, it's onside. And Declan Rice is a boyhood Chelsea fan in a way, even though that kind of pains me to say. You know, he's got that big connection with Chelsea, as we all know. I'm sure he would have loved to have scored against them, and I would have loved to have seen I celebrated as well. But the goal was ruled out and it remained 0-0. But it didn't stay that way for very long though, because Chelsea did take the lead. Mason Mount puts the corner in. Thiago Silva comes in from the back and heads it past Fabianski. Fabianski barely moves. It's 1-0 Chelsea. And the marking for this goal was poor. Silva is coming in from the back. No one's tracking him. No one's got their eyes on him. He's allowed to pretty much have a free header and it's in. Although on replay, it is suggested that Haller was fouled in the build-up to that goal. I haven't checked that yet though, but if he was, given how West Ham are with VAR this season, you know, I'll believe it. I think there probably could be a foul in that. But let me check it. It is actually a statistic that West Ham has scored the most goals this season from crosses. They scored 9 goals from crosses, and that's the highest in the Premier League. So you kind of could have worked out that Chelsea were going to stop West Ham's crosses. Albeit the odd 1 or 2 in the first half that tried to get into Haller, but Haller was offside or he headed it off target. But mainly he was offside. He was offside so many times in that first half. And the other thing that was really annoying me, and this is the big talking point, what was annoying me was the fact that Mark Noble definitely had no energy and no pace to keep up with us. I remember that he was trying to get a ball from Haller. Haller passes the ball, Noble's not even close to it, because he's not making the run and he can't keep up with it. Very negative midfield. And I don't know what the thinking was behind that. Was it to bulk up that midfield? Was it to add an extra midfield player to counteract Chelsea? I don't know, but it seemed a very strange decision. And Noble should not have been there. We know that now. West Ham did look good after about 20 minutes played of that first half, and West Ham livened up a little bit. A few corners came in, a few headers threatening in the box, and even a goal that got ruled out. Yeah, Jared Bowen put the ball in the net because, you know, good chance to score and he took it, what it seemed, but apparently in the build-up there, he fouled Thiago Silva. And at that point, I was thinking that Chelsea would end up taking Silva off, because that was the second time he'd gone down in that first half. They'd already lost Chilwell to an injury very early on, and they could have lost Silva there. 2 big defensive players. And I was thinking to myself, oh, if that does happen and both of them have gone off in the first half, West Ham need to go for it. There's no excuse for not doing that. Back to the original point, when you look at the replays of the VAR, it looks like Silva's dived. And it should have really been 2-1 to West Ham at that point. And I have seen that one on Twitter, and I thought to myself, what's going on? And how have the officials missed that? It's West Ham and VAR's hate relationship all over again. I wanted to see some changes at half-time. I wanted to see Ben Rama on. I wanted to see Noble and Fornals come off. And I wanted to see us really go for Chelsea in that second half. Because, let's be honest, that Chelsea team doesn't make me go, wow. That's not a team where I can sit back and just be entertained. They weren't good in that first half. They really were there for the taking. We had to take our chances. We had to give it to them. We had to get something out of this game. I knew we could. I felt we could. It's Chelsea. They spent all that money on players and they're still not a well-oiled machine. And the second half, well, it was a little bit better, I've got to say. And I'm going to try and formulate the words to describe this whilst I talk about it. I saw more crosses from West Ham in that second half. Right? I saw Cresswell putting in crosses. I saw Bone putting in crosses. Hilaire not getting his noggin on the end of them is what annoyed me. I saw a lot more possession from West Ham. I saw a lot more space, a lot more attack. And at that point I was thinking, okay, we are now giving it to Chelsea. We are going to do something. Moyes has really given them something to think about at half time. And it did look very good. I've got to admit, the chances were coming and we were missing them. But I was thinking to myself in the back of my mind, oh, a goal's going to come, we just got to persevere. And more to the point, take the chance. Because at this point, we had no shots on target. And it's just theory, if you don't have any shots on target, you're not going to win a game. Classic thing, right? Well, it carried on, because we still couldn't get the ball in the net. I mean, Bowen was doing a lot of hard work on that side of the wing. He was getting into the box. Cresswell was putting in a few crosses. Souček was alright. And meanwhile at the back, Kofar was defending quite a bit. But we still needed the threat. And when I saw Ben Rama was coming on, I was thinking, hallelujah, he's finally going to change it as the gaffer. But then he took off Fornals and was going to give Noble more than 60 minutes playing. And I thought to myself, well, why? Noble was clearly a worse player than Fornals, if not they were on the bloody same level. So why the hell has Fornals gone off when Noble's actually been a bit worse? It still kept happening. West Ham were getting closer and closer, stopping Chelsea in the path. West Ham still getting close to scoring, and nothing came of it still. And you had that feeling in the back of your mind that West Ham were going to blow this and pay for those missed chances. Hate to admit it, but they were. Because less than 10 minutes left, Tammy Abraham puts the ball in the net. It's 2-0 to Chelsea. There's calls for offside. And I actually said offside at first, but then looking back, kind of looks onside. They didn't do the whole check thing. But anyway, Tammy Abraham's put the ball in the net and it's 2-0 to Chelsea. And that was what the difference was. Chelsea took the chances. West Ham didn't. You take chances, you score, you win games. I'm going to say that again. Then shortly after it was 2-0, it was 3-0, but this one should have been disallowed in all fairness. Because Pulisic fouls Fabianski in the build-up. Fabianski's just getting back up when Abraham fires it into the net. How was that not called as a foul? Because clearly Pulisic has impeded Fabianski into the goal and it's bad contact. Nothing was given though, and that was the case in the game. VAR worked against West Ham. I'm not saying that to try and justify the loss. I'm not saying that to defend Moyes or the team selection, but I am saying that VAR did play a big role in this game. And that's fair enough to say. Talking about the manager and his tactics, he admits to getting it wrong. And I'll take that. He should not have started Mark Noble in today's game. He should not have had this four at the back thing going on, because Cresswell as a natural left back is no good. It shows how much we're missing Masuaku, because he adds something as a left wing back. He makes us change up the system. He makes us change as a team. Antonio would have had the physical strength to take on those defenders. He may have even scored today. It shows how much we are missing Masuaku and Antonio, and we need them back. And we're also a very depleted squad as well. And that's why we've got to invest in January. It needs to happen. Because we're going to be paper thin again. We need new players to come in January. Will it happen with our board? Probably not. Don't get your hopes up, people, but we need to have more depth in this squad. I mean, we've done very well so far this season. I'd rather take the 21 points now than get them at the end of the year. But my goodness, we are going to struggle if this carries on and the injuries pile up. Because I'll tell you, once Rice or Souček are done, or someone gets injured like that, what have we got? Zilch. Let's forget about today's game. Let's forget about the result. Don't be too angry at the performance, because there were good things there. But learn from this. Learn to take your chances for the third time and go again against Brighton, who are a bogey team to us, but it's a game that we need to get something from. Thank you very much for tuning into this episode of The Aftermath. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe for more content. The preview for the game on Sunday is going to be up before Christmas Day. I'm getting it recorded tomorrow and it'll be there for you to view by Wednesday or Thursday. Thanks very much for watching. Take care for now. I'll see you all soon.